Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so happy to get this month started and get a rocket shipping going with this young lady. This young lady, she was a locksmith, and she said, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way. She got introduced to network marketing. She took off like a rocket ship, never looked back. She's a little piece of leather, but she's well put together. She's known as a Taco Tuesday lady. And she got started, and all of a sudden she decided to go down to another city. Came to one of the Cooper's brothers, Tony Cooper, said, "Listen, will you come to blah blah blah?" He says, "Yeah." She goes, "I don't have anybody there yet, but I'll build it." And that's what a leader is all about. A leader is going to step out on faith. There's that word faith. Going to step out on faith and make it happen. Most people got to worry about it happening. She made it happen. So without further ado, can we give a warm welcome to Regional Director on the road to Orlando, the one and only, the great taco lady herself, Ms. Roxann Corralejo.
Thank you all. Good morning and happy Tuesday. My goodness. We have Mr. Thomas over here getting important calls out of London. I mean, that's the kind of life I want to live. And I know that's why we all plug into this, right? We want to go where he's been. And I love the fact that he's laying those stepping stones for us. Not just in this call, but like he mentioned, his book club. Man, I was just so honored that I was asked to be a part of that and that review panel as well. And then he has other stuff that he does is just teaching people business. Why? Because he's done that. He's been there before. And what's so great about, he mentioned about the leader that I am, but it's all because I follow in the footsteps of other phenomenal leaders. Mr. Thomas could be living his family, his fun life on the beach, doing whatever he wants to do, but he's here every day with us, pouring into us because he has a bigger purpose. He wants to leave this earth knowing that he's created the most amount of millionaires out there so that they can continue to create the legacy themselves. So I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Mr. Thomas. You are truly an inspiration. And then I do want to give a shout out to Mr. Harrison Mills. Oh my gosh. The fact that he stepped in, I'm like, wait a minute, it's like 11:01. Should I jump on? What's up with Mr. Thomas? What's going on? And he just jumps in. He's like, all right, here I am. So that definitely takes a true leader to know, be like, hey, we got to get this rolling no matter what. So thank you for always being there, always being clutch, Mr. Mills. You're fantastic. So y'all, it is Tuesday. We have convention this weekend and I'm so freaking excited. Why? Because of the environment. The environment is something that we all want to be a part of. I have always talked about putting myself in that right environment, that winning circle, that environment that just creates these winners. And a lot of us just say, hey, you know what? Maybe business isn't going well, whatever's happening in your life, life has ups and downs. It might be a down moment. And you're like, man, I just need that motivation. I need that inspiration. But then there are some other people that just aren't going, some other people that aren't registered. And the reason why I think is because sometimes motivation just isn't good enough. And that's the truth. Motivation isn't good enough sometimes. I went for a run earlier this week and I was fighting every fiber in my body. I did not want to do it. And what motivation? I actually took down the definition. It says the reasons or reasons one has for acting or behaving in a particular way. We talk about that all the time. Your reason why, right? The reasons why we act or behave in a particular way. That's what motivation is. If you would have asked me before, that's not what my definition would have been. I had to look it up to get that definition. But that's the truth. That's just the basis behind the word. Your reason why pretty much is motivation. Well, going for a run, I want to go for a run, as Mr. Thomas said, the taco lady, because I want to continue eating my tacos. I want to keep a girlish figure and eat as many tacos as I can get my hand on. And I can't do that unless I stay active and make healthier choices because let's be honest, we cook our tortillas in lard and oh my God, they're amazing, but not the best for you. So that is my reason why. But sometimes that's not good enough. Because then I'm just laying in bed and being like, man, do I really want to get up for this run? I think I'm okay getting fat. I think I'm okay. My reason why for keeping that girl's figure is not a good enough reason that day. But that's where it takes consistency. That's where it takes dedication. That's where it takes where we just got to do the work even when we don't want to. When we have that job, I couldn't tell you how many times I rolled out of bed and told myself, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to do this. I don't want to be there. But guess what? I had to do it anyway. As an entrepreneur, why is it that we're so easy to give up on ourselves when we just don't want to do the work, when we're not feeling motivated? Sometimes we just got to crawl out of bed and do it. So I'm fighting with everything in my body to get this run going. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go. I gotta get there. Once I'm there, it's a run out, so I can't stop early. I gotta make it back to my car, so I'm not doing it in a treadmill where I can quit easy. So I make sure I don't allow myself that ability to quit. And so I go for this run. I pull up and I park. And right when I park, I said, oh my God, I don't have my headphones. How many of y'all, Mr. Mills is already laughing. He already knows, like, you set yourself up, girl. Yes, I cannot run without headphones. Like, that's just, it's not happening. No question about it. So I drive home and easily I could have said myself, today is not the day. It just is not the day. My body, the earth, the spirits, the world, Jesus is telling me not to run today for whatever reason it is. And I could have thrown in the towel, but I didn't. I needed to stick with that consistency. Yes, you can, says Pierre. Yes. So I ran back home, drove, not running yet. I drove back home. I walked up my stairs, grabbed my headphones, all ticked off, went back downstairs, went back, parked my car, and started out on my run. And I knocked it out. I knocked out 3 miles. Well, technically 2. And then I walked a mile because I just wasn't feeling it. But I said in my mind, 2 was the minimum I had to do for sure. And then just at least complete 3 as a walk. So as I'm on my run, and the bad thing is how we speak to ourselves. We always concentrate on our words and how they matter, but we forget to think about how we speak to ourselves. So as I'm on my run and I'm telling myself, I don't want to do this, what I'm doing is I'm self-sabotaging my own run because my body's heavier. My breathing is heavier. It gets so much harder because I'm not in it here. And so as I'm running, I'm fighting and I say, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. And then I start thinking to myself, who the heck is we? Who am I trying to motivate? There is no we here. Whoever we is, they don't understand my struggle right now. I don't know who we is, but they are not feeling what I'm feeling. It's just one of them days. So I had to change the way I'm talking to myself. And I said, I can do this. So when we talk about motivation, we always say we, because when we're trying to motivate other people, we want to let them know we're in their shoes. Hey, we got this. Hey, I know life is hard right now. We got this. I'm here with you. But that's not enough. Sometimes I'm just in that mindset where people say we got this. And I say, who's we? You're not going through what I am. So then I started changing that. I said, I got this. I'm running and I probably look ticked off. Someone might have a video out there somewhere. I'm looking mad and I'm like, I got this. And I start saying it out loud. I got this. And I'm like growling at myself. And my hands are going up in the air. And they're like, man, this girl's having the time of her life. I'm praying to Jesus that I don't fall. That's what I'm doing. And I'm running and I knock out those 2 miles and I did not quit. So motivation isn't what we need sometimes. I'm not motivating myself. At that point, I'm not. I'm just pushing myself to be consistent. I am mad and I'm pushing, but I'm going through the motions to get it done and knock it out. And some of us fall so short because we're just tired of going through the motions. Sometimes we just have to be consistent and do the work when you don't want to. That's the worst part of this, of being an entrepreneur, is that we give up. So I go out on this run, I complete it. I'm feeling great now. And that's what I knew was going to happen. That adrenaline, all the endorphins. And I'm like, yeah, now we're having a good day. Now I'm feeling definitely better to move on with my day. And then so much so that my car is congratulating me by the lights shining on my dashboard and it's saying, good job. Yeah, no, it wasn't really congratulating me. I had some lights pop up and I'm like, great. I have stuff I got to do, but now my check engine light is on. What's going on? And it's an oil change, nothing big about it. But then I also have low tire pressure. So I'm going to jump back a little bit. And this was about 4 weeks ago, I was driving from San Antonio back up to Lubbock. And if you guys have ever been in Texas, you have big cities and a bunch of nothingness in between. It is 6 hours of nothingness. And the tire pressure light comes on and it's the pressure. I have all the buttons that tells me the pressure is going down. And then I call a friend, a mechanic friend, and he's like, just don't let it get under 10 PSI. And I'm trying my hardest. I'm with a couple people. We're trying our hardest to get to the next city and it gets to 10 PSI. And I said, nope, we got to pull over and we got to put that spare on. Like we have to, we can see the nearest small town, but we weren't able to make it. So we put the spare tire on, do all the work, get there. We still have, oh my gosh, I don't even know. It was well over 100 miles back to Lubbock to get home. And this was a Sunday evening. And what was so cool is the community got together and I said, I don't feel safe driving on a donut. It says not to drive over 50 miles per hour. Well, speed limits in Texas in some of these remote areas is 75, sometimes 80 miles per hour. So now we're driving with the hazards on and it's just a big hazard. And so, long story short, I end up getting a tire change. We found someone, the community comes together in the restaurant, the workers and the passerbyers are listening to our conversations and they're calling the local mechanics, love small towns about this, asking anybody, hey, who can come in? The guy that owns a shop is out on a lake somewhere, and then he calls someone in a neighboring city to come over. This doesn't happen in real life, y'all. To come and open up his shop to get patch up my tire. So, okay, sign the bill, everything said and done. It's like $250, y'all, for a tire patch. Ooh, G Valdez is like, that's not right. I saw his face instantly. $250 for a tire patch. And I said, whoa, that sounds like a lot. And he goes, well, I said, that sounds like a lot for a patch, is all I said. And he said, well, the patch was, I think, like 15, and the rest is a service call. To get him out there on a Sunday evening to patch it up. And I said, you know what? Sign that credit card receipt. Thank you so much for coming in and helping me. I feel a lot safer now. And so as we start thinking about these things that we are going through in life, so many people can be so upset. They can fight with the person and do all these things. But guess what? He got me safe. He got me that peace of mind was great. I would have paid 250 over again, and I still would, to have that peace of mind. I mean, I'm not going to be upset about that. And he actually came out and probably didn't want to go to work either, but he said, I'll go to work for money. And he came in to help us out. I asked him, and I said, well, how long is this going to last me for? He's like, oh, you're good forever. And I said, okay, great. So back to me running last week. All my lights come on. It happened to be that same tire. And I said, okay, it lasted 4 weeks. And I take it into the shop, and he's just telling me the patch, it shouldn't have been where it was. It's on the wall of the tire, all these things. And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. Mr. Valdez is already saying things. It was bowing out. My tire was cracking. I could have had a blowout. I could have had a massive blowout and just been in danger on the highway, whatever it was, just because of how things were done. But we also found a nail in it that was this long, and he said he found a massive thorn in it. The same tire. So what the heck is happening? And some people can be so mad. And when he's telling me this, I said, well, you know what? Someone is looking out for me. Because if I didn't get that nail or that thorn or whatever, yes, Jackie Black is pointing up, if that didn't happen, then I could have had a blowout on the road because of where the patch was. So I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, thank you, Jesus. But some other people would be like, oh man, this guy ripped me off or whatever, did something bad. I can't believe I got a tire. The world's coming down on me. It's horrible. But I was still in a great mood. I was in a great mood because I started thinking things positively. And that's just my frame of mind and my thinking. Why? Because I trained myself. That's going back to being consistent. Every time I say something negative, I change it. I do have someone on this call who said, hey, Roxann, you're bad with tires. You're bad luck. I'm like, I'm not bad luck. It was a good luck that happened. It probably saved my life. Who the heck knows? So the words we speak to other people is just conditioning that we get from the outside world. We might think it's our personality to joke around and say these things. It's our conditioning from what we get to other people, and we try to play light of it. But the bad thing is, what comes out of our mouth to other people is 10 times worse what goes on in our head. So now I'm driving home, and I'm singing to a song, and I'm just dancing in my car, doing what I do. And I'm thinking about my day, and I'm like, man, this could have been someone's worst day. Someone just probably could have given up for the whole week, just been complaining to everybody on what was going on. And I make a phone call to a friend because I'm supposed to be at an event that I missed because I'm still in my sweaty workout clothes. And I'm like, there's no way I'm making it home in time and showering and getting to this event. 7-figure panel speakers. I was so excited all day, all week to go to this thing, and I didn't even make it. My whole day got turned upside down, but it started with the ugliness of not wanting to go. I just didn't want to go for that run. So sometimes motivation, we just need to do what needs to be done. I needed to get my tire fixed. Me being upset, me being mad, me doing anything isn't going to change any situation other than what I'm telling myself and how I'm treating other people. So sometimes we go in this world and be like, man, everybody's being so ugly to me today. Well, think about what you're projecting. I felt like I used to have those days all the time where I felt taken advantage of and people were ugly towards me and just weren't as supportive. But then when I started changing my mindset, I started attracting the people that were positive to me all the time. I mean, I get calls from Mr. Al Thomas telling me how amazing I am. And I'm like, yeah, I'm on top of the world because we set that out there. So I had a friend actually in San Antonio this weekend. Now, this friend, entrepreneur, just works, doesn't really make any time for himself. And he said, you know what? I don't care. I'm going out. His son ended up getting sick, and he said he can take care of himself. I'm still committing this weekend to me. It's been, I don't know, 8, 9 months before I did anything. So he actually came into San Antonio. And so I made time to make sure I spent with him. Weekends are our working weekends. We know that a lot. But I said, you know what? I got a friend in town. He needs that positive influence, and it's just being around him. And he was telling me this morning, I was talking to him this morning, and he said he was talking to one of his friends, and his friend's like, man, like you just seem in a good mood. He's like, I had the best weekend ever. It was inspiring, it was motivating, it was all the good things. Did I do anything motivating or inspiring? No. I was just that positive energy that he needed that he wasn't getting from other people around him. So I challenge you guys to be consistent, even when you don't want to put in that work. I'm challenging you guys to be consistent, even though you don't want to be positive sometimes. It was so funny when I put up that post about me forgetting my headphones because I was ticked off and I made an ugly face. I don't remember who it was, but someone commented, it was like, no, this is AI generated. AI generated 100%. Roxann has never made that face. She's never not smiling. But I'm like, hey, you guys have to realize that everybody that you're hearing from, we have our off days too. That's what makes our stories relatable. That's what makes my stories completely raw because I tell you guys exactly how it is. I have my bad days, but I push through them. That's what makes me different and stand out from other people's. No matter what, I get the work done even though I don't want to. I go for that run when I don't want to. I make that last call when I don't want to. I do that follow up when I don't want to. I'm talking to someone that a newer rep, and he was just saying, "Oh, well, he's not responsive. I'm not going to call him back anymore." No, he might be busy. You just don't want to make that call, but that's okay. We just got to be consistent because we don't know what happens during that consistency, what's happening in other people's lives. Like Jeff Street. Jeff Street told Mr. Mazer no for like years. He actively said no for years, but he was just being consistent. So, that consistency and putting in the work, I challenge everyone be consistent for minimum of 18 months. Minimum. Because the problem is that we say we're consistent for a couple days or a week or a couple hours, or I got life, or I got work, or I got all this other stuff going on. I'm not saying to be consistent in your side hustle all day, every day. Put in an hour a day, put in a few hours a week, but make sure you keep up with that consistency for at least 18 months. Because I can tell you, and I've had tons of compliments about my weight loss because I was consistent. And I love the fact that people acknowledge it. Thank you so much. I'm still eating tacos. They're like, man, what kind of diet are you on? Really, if you know this girl, I don't diet. I do not diet. I'm still eating. I love food. And the fact that I'm back in San Antonio, man, this is going to be horrible for me. But it's because I'm consistent. I have injuries and I'm still running. But make sure you change your mindset and how you speak to yourself. Stop saying we got this when you're talking to yourself. You're disassociating yourself. You're pulling yourself away. Live in it. Own it. Take responsibility for how you're feeling. I had someone tell me, I'm going to finish up here. Okay, cool. I have a few more minutes. I had someone tell me about them being so busy. And we've talked about this before. And to me, that's negative talk. When you say you're busy, you're speaking negative to yourself because now that word is just weighing heavy. I have a busy weekend ahead of me. I have a busy week last week. It's just a heavy word. And so when this gentleman, we were talking about scheduling calendars and stuff, and this is me being a little bit blunt. I'm gonna tell you now. Sometimes I don't realize it, but I'm blunt. I'm straight to the point. Come on, who's got time to mess around? I don't got time for fluff words. But he was talking about being busy, and he goes, "Well, I don't know what my schedule looks like this week. Maybe next week we can schedule some time. I know you're super busy. What's your schedule look like?" And I said, "Hey, I'm not busy for things that are important to me. And I know this is a conversation you want to have, so I can be free as soon as you can." And that hit him, and I can see the change in his face. That hit him hard. I didn't mean it to hit him the way it did. I was being blunt. I was being straightforward. That's me. I make time for things I feel that are important. Miss Maria Estrada, I've mentioned it before. Miss Maria Estrada, I had a long layover in Arizona, a super long layover. I hit her up. She canceled her whole day, came to the airport, picked me up. We went out, we hung out, we had food, we did some amazing fun things, had a few drinks. And then she went and dropped me back off at the airport so I can continue my flight. Just a few hours. So people will make time. And I say that because he didn't make time. So what did I say to myself? Like, man, he just doesn't get it. He's not ready for this. He's not ready for that. Whatever it is, I said, no, it's my fault. Take responsibility. It's my fault. I did not put enough value for him to want to create the time. So what we're doing with our everyday, put value into it. So going back to convention, if you're not going, it's because you didn't put enough value in the reason why you need to go. I've been to a whole bunch of these. You have, but you're a different person today as you were last time. You're a different person today. You might not get motivated this time, but you might get inspired. And if you have people on your team or guests that aren't going, it's because you did not put enough value into it. You did not let them know how this can change their life. My very first convention is what changed my life. I would not be here today. And I've said that over and over again. If I was not pushed, I was kicking and fighting, and I was pushed to go to my first convention. I had just started. Within 5 minutes, I was hooked. Mr. Al Thomas said it last night on the call, on the book club call. He said, she was hooked, and that's the truth of it. Why? Because I was inspired, not motivated. I was inspired. Motivation just isn't enough sometimes. Figure out what inspires you, or figure out a bigger reason why. We say that all the time. But that is what the convention does for me. And if you're not inspired yet, that means you need to keep going and you need to keep bringing people with you because you have no idea whose lives you can change. Be that purpose that Mr. Al Thomas has been for all of us. Just having him in my life has changed my life tremendously, not only in how much he gives to other people, but just how much knowledge that he wants to share with everybody. I'm always sharing as much knowledge as I can. Why? Because I learned that from Mr. Thomas. And Mr. Trolley is on this call too. Every time I'm on, he's on. And I appreciate that. And it's that support that we have from people that are close to us. So, y'all, I'm excited. I get to see every single one of you guys this week. Hopefully, y'all are registered. I'm going to see you guys on Friday. We're going to have a good time. We're going to party. We're going to learn. We are just going to blow things up. Thank you so much, Mr. Thomas.